with it as if you haven't a choice but to live with it. If you are fear, which you are, then you do live with it. We're trying to see how afraid we are. Rod.
Sometimes I notice that the things I don't do, the choices I don't make, I'll continue next week.
Does a automobile have a choice to go left or right?
No.
Do you think you have a choice as to be good or bad?
No.
Does a machine, a human machine, have a choice? All you can do is watch very, very carefully and see that you are a machine who has no choice whether it goes left or right, because it's hurtling down that hill and subject to that rock that hits the left wheel and sends it over that way. It's subject to hitting the curb on the right that sends it off that way. It's subject to the tree it bounces against and goes off that way. As we live now, only on the intellectual level is the prey of accidental forces. And these accidental forces are both out there and in here. What I think could be an accidental force if it's a negative thought. Another accidental force could be the world out there and how I react to it, watching the news. These are all accidental forces. And this is why we walk into traps, because we're asleep thinking that we're conscious. We walk right into them and say, why did this happen to me? It happened to you because you sleepwalked right into it. We're trying very hard here to raise ourselves above the law of accident, which is above the law of the intellect. There's really, there's really only one choice we ever have. It's the only choice we have or need, ever. You don't have any choice to be good. How are you going to be good? Have you ever tried to be good? You know? It doesn't work. Doesn't work, does it? The only choice we have is to give up trying to make choices to be good or to be strong. Give up your so-called decision that you're going to be spiritual. Give that up. We got someone. Now, when you succeed in giving up trying and something other than you takes over, then do you have a choice? No, there's no need for it. Does God have to choose anything? Choice comes in only when the I says that woman will make a better wife than that wife, or this or that will make me happier. God doesn't choose anything to make him happy. He is. The only choice we ever need to have in our life is to give up. And we better have a full-length talk on that sometime, what it means to give up.
Keep coming to class.
Keep coming to class. Zena.
That cliche, when the student is ready, the teacher shall appear, is that just, a nice saying, or is there any?
No, that's really quite true, Zena. But of course, the teacher doesn't necessarily have to be a physical teacher. The teacher can be the truth itself. If you don't have anyone to teach you, but you really want the truth, God himself will take over. And that's all he's doing anyway through the teacher. Try again?
Yeah, I was just thinking, but if you had an idea of what the teacher's going to be teaching you, then you're off the track.
I should say.
Yeah.
You just want him to confirm your own beliefs, or to be like your image of what a teacher should look like, act like. You get the teacher you deserve.
That's yourself open for that.
Figure that one out.
What about the teacher getting the students?
What was that, Jim?
I said, what about the teacher getting the students?
Yeah. Do you mean to say I asked for this? I better examine my choices.
In connection with this, I can't resist mentioning there's a famous esoteric teacher who lived a little earlier in the century, and a woman came to him and she said, "But sir, I'm just so tired of all my family duties and responsibilities and my children and all of this and so on and so on." And he said, "Well, isn't that interesting?" Because he says, "You know, I came to this very place to avoid having exactly what you're talking about, a family and all the responsibilities." He waved his hand around and he says, "And now look."
Continue next week.
No, that's not continued next week. That's the end of it.
It's out of focus.
This came up a long time ago, but when we were talking about fear, someone said something that I think about every now and then. The fact that this person was afraid of his or her own mind.
Oh, yes.
Which is maybe one of the biggest fears.
Well, any of you afraid that you're going batty? Well, you know, Dorothy.
Quite often, when I'm getting ready to come out to this class, I'm almost overcome with fear. No, really.
In this class,
When I'm getting ready to come out to this class.
you get afraid.
Yes, it's like I have to force myself.
Have you ever examined it?
To a small extent.
Is there a part of you, Dorothy, that resents coming here?
Yes.
Uh-huh. And the rest of you too, every one of you. What part do you suppose that is?
It ain't God.
What?
It ain't God.
That isn't very grammatical.
Well, maybe it's the part that you're thinking, gee, the rest of the world isn't coming out here. The rest of the world is going on, you know, and there's only a small part that comes to this class. You think, well, gee, what am I doing here? It's unfamiliar or something.
Excuse me, first the lady, please.
Oh, all right, the lady.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you. No, I forgot it.
Well, thinking about it, I would like to say, the third meeting will be the time that I was ready to speak up and so forth, but I think the time is now that I would like to be myself to know. Myself, I come into this class, and the first day I learn very greatly. I meet here a man, and which is Howard, like here you say the name and so forth. And I really enjoy it very much, and no part to regret to coming over here or be afraid in any way. This I say that one because I feel it, and here supposed to be say the truth and nothing but the truth. But if I come here, because I learning every day from Howard and from the classes, the question, answer, and so forth. Furthermore, I would like to say that I enjoy very much to be here, and I learning very much. I don't write my book because I never like classes. I got very fair education, and I don't like the classroom. But here, like Howard you say too, it's open-minded, and I don't like to write, but I absorb everything so good that I